How to let go of the need to be right. Hey, my name is Mikey. Welcome to a new video. And today I want to share with you how to let go of the need to be right once and for all by dealing with the problem, by dealing with the source of the problem. Now, what is the underlying source of this problem? We as humans, we want to be right. We have the need to be right? But where does the need to be right come from? Where does it come from? Maybe you know the answer, maybe you don't. But I will tell you right here, right now. The source of the problem is the ego. So we as humans, we have the ego, right? And we haven't been taught how to discover, our true nature. So all our lives we've been living, believing that we are this ego identity, meaning we believe we are this little person in this big world. I'm not gonna go deeper into this topic right now. You can check my other videos, which will talk about this in much more detail. So if you're interested, check out my other videos. So basically, we are living being ego identified. So we are living based on the programs of the ego. So if you start understanding how the ego works, then you start being aware of how the ego works, and then you're no longer controlled by the ego, or you're being less and less controlled by the ego if you understand how the ego works. So one way the ego works is it always needs to be right. The ego always needs to be right. The ego needs to look good in front of others. Needs to be a more important ego, more important person. Needs to be, better than others, look good than others, and so on and so on. I believe it sounds familiar. Okay, so your problems, the need to be right, all that suffering, all the problems, all the issues that you're having comes from the ego. So the ego is basically same as thoughts, same as mind. So if you notice, all your problems are created by your thoughts. Okay, and now let's move on to the first main point I want you to understand, that you need to understand, is that if you continue to believe in those thoughts, those voices in your head as your voice, then you will remain as a prisoner. Then you will be controlled by the ego. So whatever thoughts arise, so maybe you have noticed, maybe not, but right now is the time to notice that thoughts, they just come and go, just like clouds. One time you're thinking negative thoughts, the other time you're thinking positive thoughts. Right? Sometimes you're thinking anxious thoughts. Sometimes you're thinking thoughts, oh, how can I, get back to this person? How can I be right in this situation, right? How can I justify my actions? How can I do that? Thoughts come and go. You have the ability to start observing those thoughts. You have the ability to observe those thoughts. And I want to share with you, it goes a little deeper, but I want to share it with you. You're watching this video for a reason, you're here for a reason, and you're listening to this information for a reason. So you have the ability to observe those thoughts, right? But the truth is, you are actually that observer. You are that awareness that is observing all of these thoughts, these emotions. You are the ones that's even observing this body come and go, right? When you were 10 years old, your body was totally different. And it's constantly changing. Your beliefs are changing. Your thoughts are changing. Your identity is changing. Your character is changing. The way you speak is changing. The way you look, everything is changing. And who is observing all of this, right? Who is observing all of this? That's when you start to go deeper and you start discovering your true self. And as I said, I have videos talking about how to discover your true nature, how to access this higher consciousness state where you are free of the ego. So if you're interested, make sure you check out my other videos as well. Now, what you have to start practicing is you have to start observing. Start practicing observing your thoughts. Instead of engaging, start practicing observing your thoughts. Maybe you just start a couple times a day, right? When you're doing some activity, when you're cooking food, when you're taking a walk, when taking a shower, whatever, right? An activity where you don't really need to be thinking, right? When you're driving a car, you don't really need to think. So start just start noticing what thoughts pop up, right? And what that does, it starts letting go of the interest in those thoughts. So what you have to do is start letting go of the interest in those thoughts that say, okay, I need to be right here. Okay, how can I be right? Right? Whatever thoughts these are. Start noticing these thoughts. Once you become aware of them, they don't have power over you anymore. So start letting go of that interest in those thoughts by starting to practice being the observer of those thoughts. Being the observer. Just like seeing clouds come and go, starting to see thoughts come and go. And don't worry, you will probably be engaged in thoughts. Don't worry, it's a practice. With consistency, you will get better and better. So just stay consistent with the practice. Okay? That's all you gotta do. Now, I want you to understand what letting go of the need to be right will do for you. Real shortly. What it basically does is it will bring flow into your life. So whenever you are arguing with somebody, right, you have the need to be right, and like the ego is not trying to find a solution. The ego is just finding a way to be right. So when you let go of the need to be right, by letting go of the interest in those thoughts, by just starting to observe those thoughts and intentionally letting go of the need to be right. Intentionally letting go of the need to be right in that situation. You might feel like you diminish inside, right? You get like you shrink inside, you feel this emotion, negative, right? That's the ego diminishing. Let the ego diminish. Let the ego get smaller. You, the real you, is not diminishing. The real you is not going anywhere. The real you is observing that feeling. You see where I'm going? Right? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. Don't worry about it. As I said, this information is here for a reason. This information is here for a reason. So, if you let go of the need to be right, if you start letting go of the ego, if you start dissolving the ego, which is at the source of the need to be right. When you start doing that, the solutions, right? When you're having an argument with somebody, the solutions will start to naturally flow into your experience through ideas. Just naturally, the situation will go where it needs to go. When you're facing a difficult circumstance, right? Where you have a need to succeed, right? A need, again, it's a bit similar to need to be right. You have a need to look good, right? Need to be right is same as the need to look good. So whenever you are starting a business, you want to be right? You're like, oh, I gotta be right, man. What if I fail this? What if I fail this? Or what will others think of me? You go on this path. You're unconscious. You're engaging with all those thoughts. There's no solution. But if you just let go, you're like, okay, I accept the fact that I might fail. Acceptance brings flow. Letting go of the need to be right brings flow into all areas of your life. Wherever you have the need to be right, whatever area it is. Mainly it's with people, right? Arguments. You always need to be right. But the ego is not seeking solutions. Never. It never brings any happiness. So as long as you're identified with your ego, as long as you're under the control of your mind slash ego, there is no freedom. The only way to access true freedom and happiness is if you start dissolving the ego and you start accessing higher levels of consciousness. And you start discovering your true nature, which is this awareness that is observing everything. Again, if you don't understand completely what I'm saying, no problem. When I started my journey, I didn't either. I didn't understand what's my true self, what's higher consciousness, what's this, what's that. Again, the mind, the ego wants to know everything, figure everything out. Well, I gotta know this answer, I gotta know that answer. No, let go of it. Disengage, not important. I'm glad that you're watching this video right now, and I'm glad you are on this personal growth, this spiritual growth journey, this personal mastery journey. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. And if you have any further questions, ask me in the comment section down below. I'm happy to help you out. And also share, what do you learn from this video? Just share your ideas with me. I'm happy to interact with you and help you out. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I will help you to master yourself and grow spiritually, discover your true nature, and find that inner peace, that inner happiness that every person is actually seeking, but they're seeking it in the external realm. They're seeking it in the external world. So if you're someone who's interested in that journey, then subscribe, okay? My name is Mikey. I'm grateful that you watched this video, and we'll see you in the next one.